Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 2A Street.
2A Street.
I've got Abe way over across from me.
What's good with everybody?
I thought of something that sounded totally clever these days.
What you got?
But I also need a little bit of background on it, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So I was like, Abe,
Yo.
brother man from the motherland, which I've heard like all the time. Seriously, I heard about that. But
This kid right here.
what? But it's true, right? Don't they call where you're from the motherland?
Yeah, that's the motherland, no
Now,
doubt.
is that a biblical background thing? Like, because
It's just a term that's used because slaves were brought from the motherland. You dig what I'm saying?
you use the S word, but I wasn't trying to go there. But why is it the motherland in the first place?
Because that's where life began. You know what I'm saying?
So
100
historically and biblically, or just
historically. You know what I'm saying? 100. Let's get it.
That's cool. I always hear these terms get thrown around. Some of them usually have roots like what you're talking about. You know,
Yeah.
slavery roots and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's just interesting, but the whole rhyming part sounded cool, but I didn't want to offend either.
Ain't no offense out here in the streets.
If nobody uses
You know
that
what I'm
term
saying?
anymore, I didn't want to. So
Yo, it vibes with the atmosphere, man. We're taking it back to the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I know.
The
This,
music,
this
everything is
Starbucks
just
up here,
beautiful, babe.
This throwback.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't heard this since I had my Walkman. You know.
Kids be like, what?
What, a Walkman? You know, they got the save icon on like every software program today is a floppy disk.
Yeah.
Which I don't think anybody knows anymore.
Kids
what
ain't know
that-
nothing about
they
that.
don't know why. You know, the kids that are graduating this year only know the 2000s for years. Did you think about that?
Wow.
2018, 18 years old?
Yikes.
Graduating this year.
That's
Whoa!
crazy. That's crazy, man.
I know. I didn't just make that up. I saw that earlier and it just blew my mind. So I thought that I'd relay the information. Listen to this. Man, we
Man,
got
summertime, dog. Let's get it.
Prince. Oh man,
Yeah.
This guy's like moved on to acting a long time ago. Like all singers go to acting and all actors go to
Yeah,
singing,
you know what I'm
I'm just
saying?
waiting for The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, to come out with an album.
Yo, he came out with a song,
Oh,
but his album, I think he recorded an album, but it never came out. He did a song with Wyclef Jean. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, it does matter. Okay, yeah, you need talent. It does matter.
If you're some...
I love that song though. At the time, I truly love that song. That was really good. You're right. But see, and that's where I get confused with your people.
Yeah.
Because they're like, yeah, I got this record, and I'm like, no, that's one song. The record is like multiple tracks together, man. I don't know.
I love Aaron. You're good people.
Oh man, we have squirreled off like crazy.
Yo,
but
for
that's
real.
all right. That's all right. So it's been a long time since we sat down.
Yeah,
to
it's
do
been
an
a long,
episode.
hard minute, dog.
There's been a couple of weeks that I missed posting some of our back episodes, and I've got to give a shout out to everybody who like sent us messages saying, "Yo, where you guys at? You okay?"
Where
and all
y'all
that.
at?
We
Yeah.
appreciate the both of you.
One hundo.
But we back, and it is a good reason on why you
Yeah.
went back home for like 2 weeks, and then I
went,
went
yeah.
on a family vacation the week after. So it's
Yeah.
already been a month of us not being together, and then it's almost school time.
So man, I was shocked when you said that, man, school about to open. I'm like, man, come on now. You know what I'm saying? These kids ain't rest well. They ain't rest yet.
No,
we
they're
need
not.
a month or two more.
Yeah, you know, you need like vacation from your vacation. I'm like just spewing out all the cliche things to say out there. Just-
Yeah, 100.
It's crazy. Hey, so it finally happened.
Uh-huh.
I was on social media the other day.
Uh-huh.
And so again, forgive me for some of the things that we say. They're not always following our value systems. but I saw a guy say it, and he says, "Hey, so you missed the truck of likes and prayers going to BC, so bye BC." You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that was it, right? Is that, I mean, the response again for BC and the wildfires was all, oh, you know, praying for them.
Yeah.
And so I'm warning you people in advance that we're going to post the episode on thoughts and prayers. We've had this episode for, it's got to be 6 or 8 months.
Man,
but,
it's been a minute, yeah.
But it brought up some emotions, and you know, it was just one of those things where we sometimes do things as society as response to something, but don't actually put it to heart. And then we were a little bit concerned that we might offend some people out there by posting that episode. So I'm giving you early advance that we're going to put this thing out because it's a solid episode. But it takes a little while to get to the point. It makes it look like we're this kind of group of heartless dudes. And that's kind of not what we represent. So look out for that. Because, I mean, the people, society itself is starting to turn around and say, you know, they're making fun of now people saying thoughts and prayers or likes. Because that's what our response is these days, man.
It's the easy cop-out way out.
It really is. It really is. So, not that some don't matter. That's we're gonna just have I'm not going into the episode. Listen to the episode. It's coming out.
It's coming. Week. Yeah.
The week after, because this week is gonna be this episode. So. I'm lost. I was like 7 minutes in or something. I have no idea where we're at. Tell me about your trip. Let's start with that. Tell me about your trip.
Man, I had a good time, Doug. You know what I'm saying? Just relaxing, doing my thing. I won't go into details, but it was beautiful. 100.
You know what I've noticed?
What?
This is the second time that you've gone there, right in the middle of a civil change.
Yo,
and, it's freaking me out, dude. Like,
dog, listen, man. Once you got your mind made up, that whatever comes. You don't matter. Life don't matter.
Yeah, no, I know, but that was just always the funny thing because I think last time they were flipping presidents or something, and this time there was some other, falsified voting or something going on. I'm like.
Love it.
This background leader of this civil unrest.
I'm out here, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Camouflage.
That's
what I'm saying?
The OG is back home. I'm bringing with me all my North
I'm
American
lessons
now because we know how to run things so well. I'm gonna teach you guys something about society. I don't know, man.
How was it out there, out east?
Yeah, so Newfoundland. There's I've never been there. I barely leave Alberta. But it was good. Went out there with the family. The best part was intentionally making time for my teenager. I got one teenager.
You got a teenager now. Whoa.
Yeah, man. And even worse, that teenager can start driving in 3 months or something.
That's a good thing. That means that I ain't gonna drive no more. I'm gonna call him yo, come scoop me up. You feel me?
Yeah, no.
The OG ain't driving no more.
Yeah, that's right. You don't have to, right? Because that's your MO. You take all these kids out for coffee.
100.
When they get a certain age, man, they're gonna start picking.
100. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Man, that's where you require a lot of thoughts and prayers to make sure you get there safely. Gonna have to happen at that point.
Yeah.
But that's the advantage of living in a small town as well. Is good.
100.
It's quite good. But the scenery out there is amazing. We went to the Deer Lake side, which is on the west side of the island instead of St. John's, which is on the west side, the east side. See, when you're in the east, I get my east and west mixed up. It's kind of like the Middle East to us is sure it's over there, but to them they are not the east.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. You're looking at me this morning like, would you just focus on a topic already?
And
man?
you ain't even had your coffee yet.
No, man. Maybe that's why I'm just squirreling all over the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you get a chance to go out there, it's especially during summer or something where it's just nice and all that. I don't know. Apparently, it only gets 10 degrees or something, but it's a really cold 10 degrees. And that's Celsius for those who listen from the States. But I guess it's always nice out there. But yeah, we have rolling hills and the mountains aren't the same as the Rockies, but it's something totally different that they have to offer. I ate cod tongues.
Tongues.
Yeah, so the fish.
Yeah.
Cod. But the tongues were like...
Seriously?
How big was this fish?
Wow.
In order to have a tongue, I don't know.
Man, was it on steroids or what?
You wouldn't think so, because it's straight out of the ocean.
Wow.
Maybe it's Fukushima leftovers or something from the radiation. But yeah, I don't know. It was just a different world. You just get a chance to relax out there. And so we show up, and I brought all my Starbucks instant coffees and stuff because I thought when we get there we're gonna be totally secluded. Man, it was awesome. There was Tim Hortons, there was Starbucks, there was grocery stores. It was amazing, man. It was great. So that was one less thing I had to worry about. What do they call me, basic or whatever they out there on the street? So meanwhile, your trip home, you're sitting there digging water out of a well. Go ahead and say what you were going to say, because your look is just priceless right now, man.
Man, You know what? I had the best latte in Zimbabwe I've ever had.
Tell me about this latte.
This latte was so beautiful.
Okay.
End of story.
Oh, all right. That's cool. I can see already we're gonna be completely full of depth. This is gonna be.
Man, I'm like high right now.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. I'm excited to be back on the scene. You know what I'm saying?
That's where I'm at
100.
as well. And it's funny because we're about to legalize weed or pot or cannabis, depending on what you like
Ooh,
to call it, in
yeah.
October 17th.
Ooh.
But that's what it feels like, is we're just sitting here just having this kind of like, yo, did you see the, what with the what?
But you know what though? This is what it is, right? Like, it's therapy when you can find people or somebody that you can just hang out with and be yourself with. You know what I'm saying? It just frees you to be who you is, 100.
Yeah. No, I find it really interesting that my brain is just, I have 150 things to tell you. And I need to
I got 1,000 things to tell you.
But the problem is we got to pick one. And
no, we're going to fight. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Octagon.
And that's what we don't want to do, because we give each other space and time to say things. So neither one of us is going to direct this thing properly.
100.
I do have to ask.
Yeah.
You had mentioned Porch Talks podcast.
Uh-huh.
There was those guys, that are followers of ours, and you were shouting them out and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So did you sit down with them on your trip or something, or
nah, man,
it came out of nowhere?
I like them people. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to see your people doing great things. Porch.
Yeah.
Porch. Yeah, I love what y'all doing out here in the streets, man. You know what I'm saying?
We'll make
And
sure we cross-link to them or something.
yeah, we
Give
got
them,
to
a
connect.
shout-out. And I was like, yeah, we know those guys. They're
100.
dope. They're always liking our things. Cool. They were not one of the two people that said, yo, where you at, though? They post on, it's either Monday or Tuesdays. I actually had to change our posting schedule because I wanted to respect when they're posting theirs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm trying
Shout
to
out.
do Wednesdays for anybody who cares.
Shout out.
I've been trying. It's all good. In other local news, Venue Church is changing their service time to 10:30
Venue
a.m.
Church
starting September 9th. For what it matters.
That's a good thing. That's a good move, man. Because evenings are tough for peoples like me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of.
It had nothing to literally the dynamic of you has nothing to do with this. You selfish. Abe, it was not for you at all. So
it was for me. I gotta look at it and say it was for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dog, this is great. 6 o'clock ain't working for a G. You know what I'm saying? A G gotta be in bed there sometime here, man. 10:30, perfect. Then I can go out and do my thing all day, every day. Don't come up to me with 6 p.m. news. I ain't with that.
Yeah, so but that's good, because at least you were committed, because you were still going at 6. So at least it showed.
I was
commitment.
struggling, G.
That's good. Yeah, us original G's got to be in bed by 7.
100.
We gotta go work.
I was like 6 p.m.
I am relatively sure them rap battles that made Eminem famous were after 6 p.m. In case you're wondering. But you go ahead if that's what you need. If you go into bed just after 6 p.m. is the secret to your beauty, I'm sold.
You know what? Yeah, at 6 p.m. you gotta be indoors. You gotta be chilling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm thinking like 10:30. I like what Venue did right there. That's a slick talk right there. Cause Abe was like, dog, I ain't with the 6 p.m. situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to Venue Church, Corey Corp out here in the streets.
It works for us too, because by the time that we get home, which by the way, families is what it was made for. I'm just giving you a hard time. But yeah, the kids are like, they don't get to bed till 8 or 8:30, and they're all amped up from the amazing service over there.
Yeah.
And so you can't get them to bed till 10, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's next day is school or
school.
something,
Yeah.
and they're all wrecked. So, but that was exactly the reason why. I'm not them, so go check out venuechurch.ca.
Go check them out.
More details on
100.
But yeah, 10:30 starting not this week, but next week. So
next week,
check it out. That's another shout out to some of our friends. Seriously, this feels just like a newscast episode.
Updates.
Where we're it totally is. Did I just duded you? I don't like when I dude you out of anybody. It's not the same coming through. All right,
Yeah.
what else you got then? If we're already 15 minutes in and we don't have an episode,
Word
so
for real, man.
we could do news updates. That's totally
Let's
cool.
do news updates.
Trump's putting tariffs on everything, and Mexico and U.S. have a deal figured out, but Canada's getting excluded if we don't come to the sandbox and bring some hubba bubba by Friday.
Yo, that was funny stuff, dog. That was funny, man.
Why are you finding it funny, man? Everything's gonna cost me about
Because
$160.
my prime minister had to give a call to Trump, man, like a little baby was left out of
Yeah,
the sandbox.
I know.
I was like, man, I don't know, man.
And our good pipeline is now back on hold. So Trans Mountain has been.
Yo,
been
that's
stopped.
I don't know, man. I don't know why they're doing this to us, man. You know what I'm saying? We're
Well-
good people out here.
Yes. There's nothing to debate there. I'm really not sure on what it is, and I mean, I'm not a guy that really follows on what our arrangements are with the other countries and all that kind of stuff. But I just know that we've always had this kind of brotherhood for U.S. and Canada, and
Yeah.
I just don't see why we need to wrinkle that, especially with everything else that's happening on the planet. You'd think that we'd be able to kind of put this aside for just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
If there was a problem.
Man.
Even if it's $1 billion or whatever, or 10, can we just hold on to that until maybe we straighten out the rest of it? I mean,
Man.
the whole thing was North America was united,
Yeah.
which allowed us to be together. That's what united means. Sorry about that, people. But, it was that unity that allowed other people to look at us and be like, yeah, that's how countries work together.
Yeah.
That's how it can be or something. I mean, you got London and Brexit and all that kind of stuff. I mean, they can't even keep together. And
But that's what politics is all about, man. Politics is politics, and we just gotta sometimes, because we powerless down here. It's like, what you gonna do about the situation, man?
No, I know, but
kids is losing jobs, people is losing homes. You know what I'm saying? And kids, it's just a mess.
yeah. So that's our response, though, is to sit there and put more tariffs on everything that's coming in. So the people that are losing jobs and losing their houses, it now costs them 40% more to get what they're. I mean, this can't go good.
Nah,
this,
man.
This truly can't.
Nah.
So.
Nah.
I don't know. And that's the thing, is that, again, as much as I like to talk about politics like we're keeping up with current events, I truly don't know if the president himself just has the power to do those things, or if he's got a group of people that are actually supporting this as well.
Right.
As far as I understood, it was him just writing executive orders and off it.
Wow.
When people just have to kind of obey. And I hope that that's what it is, because I can't imagine the majority of the people that are all the way from the representatives, the Senate and all that stuff going, hey, it's a great idea.
Right.
Like, I hope that's not the case down there, man. It's
I don't even know, man. I ain't even know.
Yeah, so I mean, the best we can do is control our little circle of influence, and
it's what we can do, man. Because at the end of the day, there's depression that's going to set in. There's people, that are going to go through stuff, and we just got to be strong and understand that this is not the end. It's never the end.
I mean, society's been through, the planet has been through many changes.
Many changes.
And that's the thing, is that it might not look the way that we wanted to, or that we thought that it would, but change happens.
Change happens. You know what? I was listening to somebody saying that change is the only constant, and we all know this thing.
Funny, man.
You know what I'm saying? But there's a downturn in economy. Look for something that you can do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That will be recession proof, for example. It's an opportunity to do something different.
That's right.
Let's look at it that way.
Yeah.
As difficult as it is to lose a job or to go through a hardship, you can always look at the brighter side of all these things and say, you know what, I'm gonna come out of this cleaner than I was before.
Well, I mean, truly, that's how you ended up at the job that you're at right now.
100.
Which is one of the most fulfilling things that I've ever seen you.
100.
Man.
Yeah.
It's good enough work that keeps you interested. It changes. It's dynamic all the time and all that, which actually frees up your mind to process other things. In
let's
order
go.
To be the creative. I mean, that's the thing. And now that you can do some things at 6:00 on Sunday nights, now we're gonna see, and actually though, I've been watching your all your social feeds over the past couple of months, and what you're doing with them kids, man. I tell you, man, if as many people tell you are the same amount of people that told us to get back on the air, man, then I'm the third person to say keep doing what you're doing, bro.
I appreciate that,
no,
brother.
Man, I don't know if you. No, you probably can't. But I don't know if you see it in my texts
Uh-huh.
on how like jealous I am that you're out there doing like because this is what we wanted to do. This is what we're supposed to be doing. Is we're out
Yeah.
there working with these kids, but we're doing stuff, right?
You
And,
have,
and to
you see,
do it-
let me cut you right quick. I could lay on my bed and say, man, I wish I had a teenager. I wish I had a child. I wish I,
Yeah.
So it's just the mentality. You got to change your mentality and change the way you think.
Yeah.
So you lose your job. So what? What can I do to better myself? What can I do? You know what I'm saying? Instead of to wallow up in my self-pity and stuff like this, let me find a situation a different way to better myself
Yeah.
or to better the next person.
Yeah.
Because in that you'll find fulfillment.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you will fall into depression. You will fall into different things that you're not supposed to fall into.
And that's even worse. I mean, both of us have been there. I mean, probably many times, I guess, would be even a safe assessment on that. Is that
Yeah.
we just, and I know that it's hard to get out of a funk.
Absolutely.
I think it was even a year ago or whatnot. I posted an episode about being just down in the ground, man.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I don't know, I can't pick up and all that, but you know what? You get through it.
You have to, man.
And it
Come
looks
on
like
now.
you won't, but you will.
You will.
You totally will. Just get on up.
Yeah.
And the hardest thing to do is be with people
Yeah.
when you're down in your funk. But you know what? Find people, and you might even have to humble yourself a little bit because you don't want to admit that you're down.
Yeah.
But it's the most healthy thing to do. Don't hang out with the people that are putting you down.
Uh-huh.
Find somebody that's actually asking you if you're okay.
Right.
And then humble yourself and be like, no, I don't think I am. And
For real.
you know that you're not. So don't say you don't think you are. You know you're not.
Yeah.
And be okay with not being okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's humbling, but it's so good because
It's awesome.
now your valley isn't as low. Once you get yourself out of that valley once, it's hard to get as low as you used to
Right,
be,
right.
because you've been there. It's familiar, and I tell you, but that's the problem with chasing highs as well. It's
Yeah.
because they'll never be as high as the first one. So
And you know what? As sure as snow is coming,
thanks, Abe.
as sure as we know that summer is coming, it's the same way that seasons of life
Yeah.
will come and go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to just empower yourself with those simple thoughts right here, they say, you know what, this is a season that's going to come and pass. It will give you the strength to face another day. It's a blessing to wake up in the morning and knowing that, you know what, I'm going to face another day. I'm going to face another battle, or I'm going to face another victory. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing. So looking at it from that angle right there will help move you to the next phase of your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, and that's that mentality of taking on challenges and just recognizing that everything that you're up against is a challenge.
Yeah.
Right? And then however you're dealing with it, some challenges are easy, some challenges are hard.
Absolutely, for real.
The world is not against you, right? I mean, it feels like it, but it's your brain.
Yeah.
Your brain is the worst enemy of
Yeah,
yourself.
come on
man.
now,
It's
let's
it.
go.
It is hard sometimes to get up and, be with no money, no home, and all that kind of stuff, and try and look at the day and go, how can I make it better? How can I make this day matter? How can I be relevant, not to other people, but to me and my world and my existence? Because by improving your day, improves the world in ways that you don't even understand.
Right.
But it's hard to get in there, especially with...
It's difficult, man.
Yeah, I mean, these days with all the kids that are, being babied by their parents and all that stuff, they have no idea how to actually deal with conflict.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a real conflict, even if it's just one in their head, they don't know how to process it without mom and dad. And
Right.
I mean, you got to set them up for success there.
100,
man. And
100.
You don't want these guys, learning their lesson when they're 22, 23, 25, when they got their first job and they're having a conflict. And the problem is already that they're getting their first job at 25, but that's where we're at, man.
Yeah.
Is that they're not even moving out of mom and dad's place until late 20s kind of thing. I mean, I'm inspired. One of my previous youth that I used to be with 5 years ago or whatever, he's probably 21, 22 now, and he's just getting engaged. And I'm like,
Wow.
damn, dude, because he's been with this girl for a while and he's a solid kid. Like, it's decision-making process is good and intact. He had a good, Christian upbringing and all that kind of stuff. You're proud to see things like that they're making these moves. Because, I mean, back in the 60s and all that, I mean, they were having kids at 21.
That's right.
I think my brother was born to my mom at 21 or something. And
Uh-huh.
I mean, I was even late having my kids when I was 27, kind of thing. But that was the mentality: is that you get them and you teach them and you have that work ethic, and you're learning life as they're learning life,
Right.
instead of thinking that you have everything figured out, and then you're 30. And then your kids are graduating, and you're like 65. I know that the math was wrong there, people, but you know what I mean. Is
Yeah.
that was one of the things. Is that my wife and I, we've been together 7 years or something prior to getting married, even, and then we started going, holy man, I don't want to be 60 when my kids graduate. So we're like, start
Let's
popping
do it.
out, you
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
that was, but it just reiterates your point there about getting out there and being with the kids. Getting involved. It doesn't matter if you're their dad or not. Like, get out there, because these kids
Man,
need that.
they need that, man.
You know?
And you gotta understand that there's a lot of broken homes out there. A lot of broken homes, and
more than anybody even. They don't even look anymore, man.
That's right.
This is not even. And I didn't mean to cut you.
Yeah,
but
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
People don't even know now. Like, and it's, yeah, we know we have homeless people and shit, but like, no, we have lots in our backyard.
Believe that.
It doesn't matter
Believe
anymore.
that.
It seems to not matter anymore.
Yeah.
It's-
And you know, when you brought up a good point, there's a lot of things that are going on, and a lot of time you see the homeless people in Calgary.
Yeah.
You see the homeless people in Airdrie.
Yep.
And you see the people that are going through it in their own homes,
Yeah.
but they're sheltered.
Yeah.
You feel me? So they come outside, they're smiling and everything like that, but
Yeah.
then behind the scenes, you ain't know what's going down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you see those things, again, that right there would drive me to compassion,
Yeah.
because you're thinking like, man, why you lashing out at me for a simple little thing like this
Yeah.
right here? There's got to be something deeper,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, that you're going through while you're acting the way that you're acting. You know what I mean? And because of this financial situation with the Trans-Canada pipeline
Yeah.
being put on hold,
not gonna help.
it's not going to help. A lot of people are going to go through it,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And we got to be at that place now where we're like, you know what, I understand what you're going through, but this is not the right way to deal with
yeah.
that.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny is that as much as I said it in tongue in cheek the other day, I was driving with my wife, and I kind of chuckled, and I was like, "Oh, the economy must be turning." And she said, "Why?" And I'm like, "Look at all these fancy trucks and all these fancy trailers. It's like people are getting confident with their money again."
Yeah.
You know, and then sure enough, a couple days later, Trans-Canada gets slowed down, or Trans-Mountain. And it's just like, see, that's the problem with people, is that as soon as we got that,
Yes.
you know, a little bit of comfort and all that, we start buying things that we can't afford, start doing things that we
Yes.
can't afford, you know, and then as soon as something like this turns again, bang, there. That trailer's going to sit now a little bit longer because you can't afford to even.
Exactly,
You know,
and it's gonna get back to the lot because you can't afford it no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is where it's important, man. If people I think that we all have to get to a place of understanding that if you can't afford it, don't get it. You know what I mean? I mean, payments are great, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to get into a zone where you're just
Yeah.
like, I want to get that because I can pay for it monthly.
Yeah.
Because something's going to happen and you won't be able to pay for it. And that thing is going to go back. You dig?
Yeah, and there's no pride in having you know, bankrupt credits or anything like that.
No.
It's you know, I've been there, and I tell you, man, it is such a humbling experience to just sit there and realize, like, there was times that I remember that as, you know, penny pinching is what we call it, but since Canada abolished the penny, we got to call it nickeling or something. Not nickel and diming, because that's the other direction. Watch me squirrel off here. But it's like, my boys would want food, and us being a little bit proud of parents, we didn't want to let them know what kind of financial situation we were in, so we would go somewhere, and I'd have to like weigh the difference between, you know, McDonald's. They did a great thing by putting out a $1.99 McDouble, but then the one child started to like want a Big Mac instead, so that's like 3 times the expense. So, but that extra $5 for me was my lunch money, you know, coming up this week. So I had to make that decision of, you know, what am I going to eat for lunch next week, as opposed to letting my kid have. And, you know, we took them out based on the fact that, okay, well, you know, you guys deserve a little bit of a bonus, we're going to go out, you know, so that's why we made the decision to spend when we couldn't afford to spend. But, you know, I have some great kids, you know, hopefully because we treated them well when they didn't realize that we couldn't afford to treat them well. But there's nothing like making that decision, right? And I mean, I know that there's a whole bunch of, you know, we used to be able to say a whole bunch of single moms out there, but there's a whole bunch of just families out there.
Man, a lot.
That have to make the decision between, what are we eating this week? Or, I can't feed you tonight because I need that gas money to get to
go
work
to work,
tomorrow,
yeah.
just so that we get a little bit
Yeah.
going on. And I know that this is reality for people.
It is reality, man.
This is not a small percentage of people, man. There are a lot of hurting families out
Food
there.
banks are requesting for
Oh,
food
my-
donations because and that just shows you, you know what I'm saying, that the times are hard for a lot of people.
Yeah, and that's that financial literacy idea that you have.
Uh-huh.
I think that needs to run, and it needs to run faster than what you want it to.
Yeah.
Because people need to understand.
Man.
It's like I got connected with this dude. He's in the same kind of industry as I am, and he's only 24, but he's going through. He's got a business consultant and financial advisor and all this kind of stuff that's giving him the input on how to make sure that he's going to be successful in his endeavor. And I look at this kid and I'm like, man, that's incredible. I just wish, that I was smart enough back in the day. I was smart at what I do,
Man.
but not as smart at what I did. Like, did you hear the difference there? Smart at what I do, but not smart at what I did.
Right.
And this kid is going to surpass everything that I ever had as a goal because he just did it smartly.
Man.
And
One thing too, like you're talking about financial literacy, is the humility. Like you brought up a good
That's
point
it.
about being humble.
That's it.
I went to the bank one time. My bank, I just opened up an account, and a lady took a liking to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's just like, okay, we're going to do it this way. Let's try. Why don't you try it this way? You know what I'm saying? And I was humble enough to say, all right, I'll sit down here and learn because I don't know.
You're the pro, lady.
You're the pro, 100. You know what I'm saying? And up until this day, I can't find that lady. She left the branch and she was gone. You feel me? And then another lady came in, young lady, and took over from this lady right here. And she just took my file and just started training me and teaching me and all of this nice stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where it's at. This younger lady right here, she's younger than me, but she was able to teach me as well. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So go ahead.
And that's what. No, I didn't mean to catch you. I thought you were
ahead,
done. Sorry, I just thought you were done.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with this kid. I don't mean to call him a kid. I mean he's a young adult.
He's a kid.
He's a kid. You're right. But from where I've been as well, it was that thing where I knew to listen first.
100.
Like, what does this kid have to bring me? And it wasn't for a benefit, but just trust that other people have a voice.
Man.
Other people can teach. It doesn't matter what their
Man.
age is. I learn a bunch of my things from my youngest kid. He'll
Man.
come up and I'll say something, some of the old school cliche, don't do this because that'll happen. And he'll be like, really, Dad? If you swallow gum, does it really stick in your stomach? And you're kind of like, probably not. You know what I mean?
boy,
but
man.
you got to humble yourself
Yes.
to just be like, you know what?
Yes.
Why the heck do we do things this
Yes.
way and turn it?
Yes.
We don't have to conform, and just be part of that societal thing that this is because of that. It's like, I'm not saying be rebellious, but just make sure that you're checking first. Make sure that you understand what's being put into you before you process it, and that's a valuable lesson, that one, man.
It is valuable.
Listen first.
Listen.
Active listening.
Let's go.
Don't listen to respond, man. Listen to understand.
Oh man, you're dropping them bombs right now, man.
Yeah, but
let's go.
Tell me what our topic was today. Just tell me, man. I don't know, but we're already at 33 minutes, so we're done. Whatever we were talking about, we're done. I think it was just really exciting to be back together.
Yeah, 100.
And, we'll figure this out. It's all good. We got
Yeah.
lots of things to talk about, so we'll wrap this one up.
Oh.
And for those who forgot who we are, I'm Aaron. That's
Yeah.
Abe
What it do?
over
What it do?
there.
Yeah.
He's and you got to follow this cat on social media. He's I don't know, he's inspiring me. Maybe that's all that matters sometimes, but go check him out, amaweo.com, MAWOYO.
Yeah.
And shout out to the Alberta Podcast Network.
Shout
and
out.
again to our buddies over at Porch Talks.
Oh,
That's good. I like it. And at least it's sunny behind you. So
Yes,
have a great Saturday. And we'll catch you on the flip side. We are the 2A Street.
2A
Google Play,
Street.
iTunes, and not quite Spotify yet, but SoundCloud.
we're coming.
We'll talk. Have a great day.